Okay, and update that because that guy is not there in the system. So Rajiv will be the contact person for all the future things.
So welcome and good day to all of you. My name is Varun Rawat, representing Path Infotech, and I will be moderating the webinar today. I would like to thank all of you for joining us. I hope you are taking care of yourself and staying safe. In this fourth part of the webinar series on Oracle EBS upgrade, we will discuss about some key enhancements in Oracle EBS manufacturing in latest release. We will also look at the EBS Enterprise Command Center for manufacturing. Next slide, please. Some housekeeping rules before we get started. All attendee lines will remain muted during the session. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your control panel. The Q&A round will be at the end of the session, and we will address your questions at that time. The session is also being recorded, and the link will be shared with all the participants post the webinar. We will also have a raffle draw for the webinar attendees, and the details of the raffle entitlements would be shared at the end of the webinar. Next slide, please. So let us begin today's session with a quick recap of what we covered in the last two sessions. So we talked about the Oracle EBS roadmap. We talked about the various upgrade options available. We discussed about foundation, finance, and supply chain new features and enterprise command centers, and we talked about online patching. We'll talk more about this in the coming slides. So as we know that Oracle's continued commitment towards innovation is very evident from the consistent new releases, with recent release being R 12.2.10 in September 2020. The support for R 12.1 application is ending in December 2021, and related database 11G are supported till December 20, and 12C database support is ending in July 2021. So enterprises who are on R 12.1 and 11G or 12C, time is now to upgrade EBS application and a database to the supported versions. Next slide, please. So we talked about Oracle roadmap and the choices available thereof. So the very first option or choice is that you can stay as is. So as much as we depict that this is an option, but this is not an option. So enterprises don't want to be running their core business operations on a non-compliant platform. The second option is you can upgrade and stay on-prem. So enterprises which are not yet ready for public cloud, be it for data privacy obligations or for their investments in infrastructure, etc., this is a good option to pick. The third option is you can upgrade and move to IS Cloud. So enterprises considering beginning their journey to cloud, this is a great option to embrace the cloud without any change in the application environment. The fourth option is you can upgrade and coexist with Oracle SaaS. So enterprises which are open to implement new modules like EPM, HCM, or Oracle SaaS application, and can integrate with Oracle EBS application. The fifth option is embrace modern SaaS. So it is a very extreme decision for any enterprises, as it requires considerable investment of time, effort, and money. However, if the business transformation warrants a change, it is the way to go. Next slide, please. So we talked about new features available. So we have categorized new feature and functionality in various buckets like foundation, financial, supply chain, manufacturing. While we have already covered the foundation, finance, and supply chain new features, the key ones to take note are the first is user interface. We all know and have experienced that the user interface of Oracle is not the latest and greatest. However, Oracle has really worked up to come up with a modern UI. Second is online patching. As much as this is a core technology innovation, but the rewards of this innovation are more for business and business users. With online patching, downtime is required only during the cutover phase, and it improves the availability of the system. And last but not the least, ECC, Enterprise Command Centers. So this is the single biggest innovation that Oracle has done to Oracle EBS, e-business suite, starting from 12.2.4 and continued to enhance that with every new release. So application upgrade involves significant investments of time and resources. So just being tech compliant cannot be the primary driver of the upgrade. So our effort is to enable you to take a conscious decision on upgrade and draw maximum value of your investment. With that, we quickly shift our focus to today's session. And let me begin with introducing our speakers. But before that, we have a quick poll and would like you to take a moment and share your response towards the same. So I'll also read the question, which is which below combination of Oracle e-business suite and Oracle database represents your setup best? Thank you so much for your responses. We'll close the poll now. Next slide, please. So today's session will be a panel discussion in which both the speakers will share insights about how Industry 4.0 is transforming the manufacturing industry and driving innovation and excellence across processes. And we are really pleased to have with us a great set of panelists. We have with us Ravindra Ghosh. He has extensive experience in implementing large-scale enterprise applications for the manufacturing sector. And for the last 20 years, he has worked in diverse business functions ranging from CRM, SCM, ERP, HCM, involving flagship Oracle EBS. He started his career in product development team of Oracle Clusterware before moving to the core delivery roles of functional consultant, analyst, project management, and service management. His hands-on development experience in various frameworks, ranging from Struts, EJB, up to present-day microservices over the period of 2 decades, has really held him in good stead with the changing technology landscape. His current assignment of a pre-sales consultant for Oracle applications has given the right exposure to utilize this knowledge to devise a solution for complex customer requirements using Oracle e-business suite. Hi, Ravindra, how are you doing? Glad to have you here. Can you hear me, Ravindra? Okay, I guess there's some. So we also have with us Rahul Jain. He is an Oracle applications specialist at Path Infotech. He has more than 14 years of ERP experience with expert knowledge in manufacturing in Oracle applications. And Rahul has worked with many organizations helping customers to accelerate their digital transformation journey. And he has also helped organizations to use new features to improve the processes and gain maximum value out of them. Hi, Rahul. Welcome to the webinar. How are you?
Hi, Varun. Very happy to be here. Good morning. And good morning, everyone who is joining from different parts of the world. Looking forward to this webinar. Yeah, thank you.
Great. So without further ado, I would request Rahul to take the lead from here and give us an insightful session. So over to you, Rahul.
Yeah, sure, Varun. Thank you. So in this webinar, we'll be talking about the new features that Oracle has come up with the new releases. From time to time, with the customer demand, Oracle has come up with the new features. And in the previous webinars, we actually covered new features regarding financials or the SCM applications in different areas like order management, purchasing, and inventory. In this webinar, which is on manufacturing, we will talk about the ECCs, what are the different enterprise command center dashboards that are there from different manufacturing areas, and we'll talk about online patching. Online patching has actually reduced or cut down the time that actually has helped the users, to key in the transactions as regularly as they can. So starting with the different modules, we have discrete manufacturing, work in process, process manufacturing, quality. These are the primarily these are the prime modules that come under manufacturing. So we'll touch upon a few features. We'll start with the understanding of what are the new features that our customers are using. In inventory, we primarily have cycle count enhancements. That is the biggest advantage that we have. Actually, earlier we used to have a single approval level cycle counts, but now we have the AME feature where we can, configure the complex approvals for the cycle counts. Similarly, we have different material workbenches, receiving HTML user interfaces that are there to be used from mobile devices or tablets, and help you, key in the transactions wherever you are in your warehouse. Similarly, you have different features for manufacturing that we'll touch upon. But before moving forward, we usually hear the different terms like IoT, that is the Internet of Things, smart manufacturing, artificial intelligence. What are they actually? We have seen a lot of customers of ours that are using these things, and it actually integrates the different flow of data, and it actually integrates the different type of customers, manufacturers, or suppliers. So before we start discussing about the new features that Oracle has come up with, let us understand more about what is actually the smart manufacturing. So I would like to ask you, Ravindra, please help us understand more about smart manufacturing.
Sure, Rahul. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, everybody, for giving me this opportunity, and welcome today in this webinar. I hope I am audible, Rahul, now, right? So
yes, you are, Ravindra. Well and clear.
Right. So as we speak, we understand what during the pre-industrial revolution days and during the 17th, 18th, and 19th century onwards, when mechanical and electrical systems and machinery were holding sway, and then which gave way to electronics and computerization in a major way during the 1970s, 80s, and during the 1990s. But now, as we see during the 2000s and as we go into the next decade, we sit in 2021 today, we are saying that the cyber systems are almost taking over our workplace. So if we look at in a organizational scenario for a manufacturing firm, so either in a plant or a manufacturing division or in a factory, these days we would go on to see 3D printers doing the job of in a major scale the design and the work of what used to be done by in the former day manually by the designers. Similarly, we see equipments and factory machines talking to each other via the IoTs, via the sensors, and then cobots doing much of those routine jobs. So I guess this connected tooling and all of this is the major operational technologies that we are going to see in the next digital wave that is going to happen. So probably in the next half a decade or so, I think AI and ML will be driving our OT IT systems in a major way, which is where I think as an industry 4.0 solution provider, Oracle is really well placed, to harness this and exploit this situation, and then offer the kind of product suite as well as the technology framework for our customers to take it up. Now, when we talk about Industry 4.0, I think digital supply chain is one of the big, contributor in that, because the moment you look at smart manufacturing of the future, automated. So gone are the days when you used to construct work orders and then manually send those work instructions supervisors, sending them manually, and then the plant operators taking them up and then executing them via the manual the manufacturing execution systems. I think much of those has now moved on in the various continents across the globe towards this IT/OT convergence, where you see that a lot of production systems have gotten automated, and the tools for monitoring them via the IoT is available, and human intervention is more towards doing some deep analysis of those agents coming out of it. And yeah, so I think deep learning and genealogy and tracing and tracking of all that, and then closing the final feedback loop in the whole automated production cycle is something I think smart manufacturing of the future is all about. So as I was talking about digital supply chain, where which is playing one of the big role in enabling as an enabler for Industry 4.0 and taking up smart manufacturing. I think that's what this whole idea is going to be about in the future, where a lot of our backend systems on the supply chain side, the procurement systems, our order management systems, the logistics systems, everything is going to really get connected with the plant, and then production monitoring, fleet monitoring, and everything as we speak. I think Rahul, you might be actually having that in the next slide or so. I'm not sure. So yes, I think this is what I was hinting at, that the digital supply chain is something that we are going to see in the smart connected plants kind of a scenario in the future, where your digital field service, your product usage data, your tracking and tracing and detecting and asset monitoring, everything is going to be in an automated fashion. And then you not only have one real physical factory on the shop floor, you also have its digital twin running somewhere in a system, either on the cloud or on your on-premise, wherever it might be. And then voice of the factory, voice of the product, and voice of the customer is going to really make sense. So I think that's what closes the complete loop. So yeah, so I think that's where, and as I already mentioned, Oracle with its right set of technologies, and as we would see going in today's webinar, the kind of changes that we have made in various modules, the kind of modifications and additions we have made is really all geared up and focused to make this happen, to complete the journey of our customers. Right.
So Ravindra, we can say, yeah, so I believe we can say in the nutshell that Industry 4.0 actually integrates everything and allows seamless flow of data to every entity, be it customers, suppliers, or manufacturers. And IoT robotics, they are more affordable now. And with the current Oracle technology, Oracle suite of applications, we have all in one place, right? So we can integrate them and can use as per the future requirements, future demands.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly the case, in fact. So as we speak a little further on in the webinar, I think it will make really great sense for everybody who are joining this webinar today, that how we are changing the product landscape of Oracle E-Business Suite to make this really happen. Right.
Yeah. So let me share a few different areas where Oracle has invested heavily regarding manufacturing. Starting with the discrete manufacturing, we have seen that our customers are using new features that Oracle provides with the new releases, mainly the 12.2, 0.4, and so on. In work in process, that is a pure discrete manufacturing, we have seen that our customers are using the different features like allowance of move transactions below 6 decimals, which actually do not stop the transactions to move on. And the one key feature that we have seen is validating push components at permission. So actually, when you have the components with the supply type as push, you have to push the components, but there was no other option. In EBS, we used to develop the customization for it, but now Oracle has come up with a feature that actually gives you the warning if you are not actually issuing the material to the job. So this is one of the key features that our customers are using. And then we have the support for the contingent workers. So contingent workers, actually they work for companies on a non-permanent basis and can include consultants or outside contractors. So this is a very common practice in manufacturing operations. So yes, we have seen our customers using a lot of features that Oracle provides with the new releases. Similarly, in the MES manufacturing execution systems, we see customers are using the serialized manufacturing where users are able to auto-generate and associate serial numbers to the assembly at the time of releasing the job, or maybe specifying component division at the last moment, that is when they are performing the move transactions or move and complete transactions. Similarly, with the quality, we have seen that there are new features like skip log inquiry page, which is enhanced to display partially accepted and rejected quantities against receipt. Similarly, for CTO, which is the configured order, you actually configure the orders, the sales orders as per the customer demands, and then provide that. But here, the new features are like you can, I mean, if you have multiple CTOs, you have configured them, then you can generate a single work order for them in the manufacturing. So this is again a good feature. You don't have the multiple work orders against it. And similarly, when you link the CTO with the outsourced manufacturing, when you provide the materials to your external contractors, to your suppliers, you have the lot genealogy feature where you can actually track what are the materials that you issue to your suppliers to, manufacture your finished product. Similarly, we have the ECCs, Enterprise Command Center. These are actually, I would say again, definitely the biggest feature that Oracle has provided. It is actually a BI tool that is working on the actual data, that is the transaction data that we generate in the EBS. It provides the DFF support, it provides saved searches, provides the data that can be downloaded in the Excel format, and then again worked upon. You can customize the interface. There is no programming required, and the best part is it is totally free. And again, coming to the electronic Kanbans, we have Kanban. It actually provides a comprehensive, user-friendly, and configurable e-Kanban workstation. So you have the ability to scan and transact the Kanban cards, and it also provides logical Kanban support where the cards are actually replenished automatically via the scheduled concurrent programs and without any user intervention. Similarly, enhanced supply Kanbans and much more. And coming to the latest features that are provided by Oracle, like SaaS apps, it is actually the Oracle Cloud. And I would talk about the two prominent features that Oracle provides in the SaaS apps. That is the Oracle Cloud. One is you have the option of mixed mode manufacturing. In EBS, you only have either process manufacturing or discrete manufacturing as per the inventory organization. But now you can have both of them with a single inventory organization. And the other feature is the costing. That is the accounting part is separate from the discrete manufacturing. Earlier, what we used to do is we capture the accounting classes there in the WIP parameters, but now the costing data is separate. So the SCM part and the financial part is separate. So these are the two biggest advantages. Besides that, there are other features like in-memory cost management cloud service, which actually provides a real-time insight. And how about Ravindra? You have seen a lot of customers using these apps. Could you please share a bit more about these different SaaS apps?
That's right. Yeah, thanks, Rahul. In fact, I was just wondering while you came to these SaaS apps that this is a moment where I should add a certain point over here. That I was thinking when you were speaking about the changes in work in progress in manufacturing execution systems in our configure to order, the additional changes we have made for our manufacturing partners via the full outsource manufacturing, all of that is actually a foreplay in providing the completeness in our transaction systems, just so that our customers are now well placed to use EBS, which seamlessly integrates with our adaptive intelligence applications. And when we are talking about the completeness in transactions, that's where you are well placed. You have the right launch pad to now use the intelligent applications AI app to now gather certain heuristics, or maybe certain kind of draw certain insights out of that. So now if I have, for example, a lot of service requests coming in, a lot of SRs being logged by our customers for a certain equipment or a certain part, so I now have the full ability to actually trace it back, equipment wise or part wise via the part code, that which particular part was sourced from which particular vendor, say vendor A, and during what time of the year was it actually sourced, and when it was actually in the shop floor, what are all the equipments that had worked upon that part, and who were all the operators, ABC, Mr. Such and such were the operators who had operated on it. And then there were certain noise levels which were probably coming from the IoT sensors, which did not match the quality specs, and yet it went through the quality control department and finally actually is making all this the changes. So as you see, all the different transactional systems, my procurement system, my inventory, my operator data is coming from the humans, my HCM systems, and my quality spec is enabling me to understand finally what is the source of the problem. So that's where this adaptive intelligent apps is coming and a floor play. And a lot of our customers, specifically we've seen a lot of our customers in the US, UK, and a few of our customers even in India, in the western part of India, and in Australia, are using this in a big way to make changes in their digital landscape. Yeah, so I think, so we are well placed, with the changes in the EBS and the seamless integration with the AI apps to take this journey ahead. Correct.
So yes, Ravinder, we can say that yes, we have the best of the different industries all integrated into Oracle to cater to our future demands, future requirements, and we are very well placed here. Yes.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
Yeah. So moving forward, we have seen a few features regarding the MES where we discussed about the component backflash quantity controls. We can also have department access for work orders transactions where, for certain operations, we want the quality person to, first do the quality check and then only allow the further progression of the job. So we have that feature also. We have the work order or sales order link history where we can link the customer demands in the form of sales orders to the work orders. And then, drill down from the, if you're using ECC, then drill down that what are the work orders that are developed against these customer demands. We have the material and visibility during issue runs. Similarly, with items and BOM, one of the features that I would like to point out is that update item for untransited items. Actually, what we are seeing with our customers is sometimes because of the huge lead times, we do not have or the knowledge that this is going to be the the unit of measure for this particular item. So what we see is we usually use the frequently used unit of measure, and then after some time, when the actual quotation or the actual material comes in our inventory, we get to know that yes, this is the that is to be used. So we have two options: either we define the conversions, or we delete the material from the backend. But now Oracle has given us the option to change it before you make any transactions. So this is one of the features that I wanted to point out. And then we have the feature regarding maintain eco details of BOM mass changes, where you can see the eco details where you can see the BOM mass change request in the eco module. Then we have discussed about the quality features, script load functional enhancements for quality tests. We also have the additional API to create quality collection plan elements. So these are all the features that Oracle has provided for our use as per our different requirements.
Right. So this is more or less something that one would really appreciate, that although these changes look like something, tidbits here and there, some kind of, filling out the jigsaw puzzle, but really we are taking the journey forward for all of our customers to take them via this route into the next stage of digitalization. I think that's where even the changes that we have done in process manufacturing, Rahul, so the one that you are going to showcase now, I think that's also the same. The intention and motive is the same, actually.
Yes, Ravinder, very true actually. We have a lot of features in process manufacturing, also a lot of advancements from Oracle. The key ones are like batch hold management, where we have different kind of holds to process the batches. You have the yield measurement, where you can measure the yield at the batch step level, at the different batches level, or at the finished product that is coming out of the batches. In the financials also, you have the accrual reconciliation, including consigned inventory, where you don't have the ownership of the inventory in the consignment process. But when you transfer the inventory from the consignment inventory to your own inventory using the consumption rules, the actual reconciliation actually doesn't come under the miscellaneous accruals, only under your AP reconciliation. So it is a good feature which you can use to, reconcile your books. And then coming to the modern user experience and mobility, ECC is the one feature that we will, see a lot about in the coming slides, and we'll try to give you a look and feel also with the demo. Then we have the smartphone apps. This is again a great feature where you have the different kind of apps across the horizontal or the vertical areas, where horizontal means you have the apps regarding the different kind of approvals, be it the purchase order approvals or the invoice approvals or the I expenses. Similarly, you have the applications for different modules, key modules like inventory, purchasing, expenses. And then you have the options for the in-memory cost management that we actually discussed about online patching. So all these are there to be used. Oracle auditors, I mean, these are the features that have come up with a lot of best practices that currently industries are using. So Oracle is capping to the demand that is coming from the different industry worlds.
Right. So while we speak a lot, Rahul, about the new age enterprise command center, which is filling the gap for the requirement of customizable MIS and dashboards and some kind of a prescriptive analytics, basic analytics, either on the financial side or procurement side. While that is definitely one of the biggest advantage why one should move to EBS current releases, smartphone apps has been kind of an underdog. So I think I would definitely would like to take a few seconds to talk about this. That I think Oracle is one of the very few OEMs in globally in the market who are providing this smartphone apps both for iOS and Android platforms. So these are all OEM developed and delivered application mobile apps which we don't charge to the customers separately. So they come to all the users who are licensed for the base products for free. And yet we actually support them, and since these are built using the Oracle's own MAP mobile application framework, so they are really can be extended. So tomorrow if any of our customer wants to build their own custom mobile apps, so that particular flexibility is all there. And then since we provide REST APIs, our delivery strategy has always been providing as many APIs as possible. And we don't charge anything for for actually consuming those APIs, so there is no digital access and all that thing coming up. So that's where the whole value addition of providing the smartphone apps comes really across, right? So and as you rightly mentioned, we provide those apps both for the horizontal apps like for approvals and for raising various approvals, for making certain approvals, either the leave approvals or expense approvals and all that. So while we have all those kind of horizontal apps, we also provide line of business apps for manufacturing, for services, for for financials, for SCM and for human capital management, all of that. So yeah, so that's really a big advantage that EBS customers is going to have in upgrading.
Yeah, true, Ravindra. Actually, we have seen that customers are also developing their custom apps to integrate them with the different modules that they have. They only use the base license for the different modules. Yeah.
Right.
So we also have the HTML user interfaces for different options like receiving HTML UI or the Material Workbench UI. These are actually device agnostic. That is, you can use them either through tablets or mobiles on the go. That means that you may be at any different place in the warehouse, and then you can use and key in transactions that you want to. So this is a great feature that is provided. And again, we will talk about in the next few slides about the ECCs.
So since they are based on responsive layouts, they, as you rightly mentioned, they are all device agnostic. They look the same across, whether it's a tablet or laptop or a desktop or a mobile phone. And then, we also have something called a tablet. For our tablet users, we have provided gesture support, on them. Then we provide a lot of themes, pre-built themes for our users to take care. So we've done a lot of changes in the HTML UI so that the adoption of the users really becomes a cakewalk now. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Ravinder. As we discussed about the different kind of apps, horizontal apps, line of business apps, we have the apps for inventory modules also. Order module where the sales order module we can see the order line status or the customer searches, can perform the holds or back orders, can work on the back orders. Similarly for expenses, we can enter, view, submit the expenses. Coming to the delivery strategy, the main point is there is no additional cost for the apps also. You only need to have the license for the base modules. The best part, it supports iOS as well as Android OS and built with Oracle mobile application framework, as Ravinder has rightly said. So they're all there. As per the requirements, our customers are using it and can use in the future. So coming to the enterprise command center, would like to touch upon and showcase a few things about it. Oracle terms it as conversation with the data to narrow in on the most important priorities. So that means that you can, from the high level, drill down to transaction level details. You can take action on selected transactions, can see where the actual problem is. You can see in the picture that at the left you have the search bar, at the top you have the summation bar where you can see the summary. Then there is the tech cloud, which is also called the word cloud in the BI. Then we have the different kind of charts that are available. You can customize as per your requirements. Then you have the results and table grid, where you have the different kind of data from where you can directly go to the EBS source. So let us discuss about the inventory management command center. We have the inventory management command center to streamline inventory activities and quickly act on exceptions if there are any. Oracle actually provides 6 dashboards currently under inventory. So let us see a few examples. This is the use case, items dashboard use case, where actually the company finds out that yes, they have 3 or 4 different kind of items against the same supplier item. So they review it using the items dashboard, go to the specific catalog group, drill it down from the high level to the transaction level, select the matching items for comparison, take necessary action. So here you can see that yes, we have the high level data, can drill down and take necessary actions. Similarly, we have a separate another use case, which is using the shipping cycle count and activity dashboards from inventory area. Here again, you see that there are bottlenecks in the shipping area. So they see that in the cycle count area, we are performing much better than the average that we used to. So see that 2-day cycle counts are above average for the past 30 days. Identify what are the cycle counters that are performing the job. Identifies or narrow it down to the person who is likely to be switched to the different area, that is the shipping area, and then can take action to finalize the work on the area. So you can actually monitor the delays, problems at inventory operation, can see the results of the actions taken. So similarly, we have discrete manufacturing command center. We have the use case here. Production supervisor checks the dealer the reason, material shortage can be one of the reasons. Can arrange the substitute part as per the BOM. Can take action on it and progress with the work order. Similarly, we have the command center for the process manufacturing. This is a certain use case that we can use. We can identify the metal pending issues by identifying expiring loads and out of range quality parameters and can take appropriate action. And one of the modules quality that comes under manufacturing, we can reduce the cost and business risk. Again, a use case where we can narrow it down on the quality issues from the supplier perspective, can see what are the problem areas, can take action, can generate the report using the non-conformance occurrences, identify corrective actions to be taken using the PDS cycle, can generate the report and supplier can act on it using the iSupplier portal. So these are all that we can use using the different command centers that come under manufacturing. So before moving forward, let us take on the poll. Varun, could you please take on the poll?
So I think as you mentioned, just as we are going to the poll, I would just like to add, since you mentioned the conversation with the data, I hope the webinar attendees today really got a feel that we gone are the days where you had to log into a form to a drab user interface and then make certain changes and then come back, navigate to another responsibility and then look at those changes. Or so on are those days, all you have once you log into the application, I'm sure you, since you also have a planned demo, once you log into that, all you are interacting with is a nice set of dashboards, and that's where you keep on, in fact you can keep making changes to them, and you immediately see your changes happening and then going for approval, submitting the changes for approval. So the way the users are now going to interact is more conversational, and that is via the dashboards rather than some other UI which was little bit boring. Yeah. So I think going over to the poll, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Ravindra. So I would request the attendees to take a moment and answer this poll. So I'll also read out. So if you have EBS 12.2.4 and above, are you using ACC? So thank you so much for your responses. Just to share that majority of the audience today is not using ACC. So over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Varun. Thank you for the responses, audience. So moving forward, let us start with the short demo on the ECC. So you can see here, this is actually a shipping dashboard. This is actually a work in process dashboard, which actually comes under the discrete manufacturing. We have 3 dashboards from work in process area. That is, one is the work order status, production quality, outside processing. So below here, you can see the different charts that are coming in, the different tabs, that is schedule, delay, and materials. In the schedule, you can see the number of work orders that have already, delayed as per the start date. And work orders completion schedule, you can see here. You can, customize these as per the different requirements. And this is the below data. Let me drill down and show you more about it. I believe I have to log in again. Let me log in again.
So while you log in, Rahul, so this is also important to know that this login screen and the landing page itself has undergone such a huge changes, as all our audience would have noticed. This is what as we talk about the HTML UI, that login, this particular landing page itself has transformed quite a bit. Yeah, please, going back.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, this is where we were. Let me refresh the screen again. While the screen is refreshing, let me tell you that actually this is the same data that is coming from the EBS suite forms. So what we have is we just use the different components to upload the data here. So you can see here the different charts that are coming in. I can drill down from here. When I drill down and do the multiple, you can see the data is actually coming here also. So you are basically, when you drill down on any certain chart or any transaction, the data gets filtered, and these are the key that comes in. So here we have the different assemblies. As per the assemblies, we can see that what are the different assemblies which are delayed. How many orders are there? Let me see here. One is this for the assembly CM66731. 4 work orders are already delayed. Similarly, we can see the data here. Going down, we can see the different data that is available here. We can see the different work orders, the description, the assemblies that we were talking about, the assembly description, the planners. What is the kind of job? What is the discrete class that we are using? Is the status released? So all that, and we can also go from here to the EBS forms. So let me click here and go here, and you will see that yes, once I click there, it again takes me back to the ECC forms. So actually it is a seamless integration between the ECC as well as the Oracle Suite forms. So it is the same data that we are using. It actually proves that. Again, we can come here. This is the shipping dashboard that comes under inventory. You can see here, I have filtered data as per the organization M1. You can see that these are the different work orders. These are the different delivery details as per the ship date. What are the delivery details? You can, go down and drill again. It will again filter the data as per the different areas. From here, you can see the different work orders. What are the items that are delayed? What are the deliveries that are ready to be released? The different order types, ship to locations, ship from location, USDs. All this is here. So basically, you can, as per your requirement, it will down from here. Here it is. You have the different filters. You can again, remove the filters, can start again. So this is all there in the different dashboards. Oracle has come up with around 25 command centers with 120 plus dashboards till release 12.2.10. So you can, as per your requirements, cater to all the different dashboards. And I would like to show one more thing before we move forward. That is, we have the stable interfaces for the move orders as well. So this all you can do using the tablets and mobile phones. So let me just show you in brief. You just select the organizations, go there. So all this can be done using tablet or a mobile. Doesn't matter where or in which part you are in your warehouse. You just search it here and can see all the transactions. There may be not the data here, but these are all the transactions that you can do. So let us get back to the slides. So this is what we discussed. For the look and feel, what all you can have when you install Oracle ECCs. So moving forward, we have seen that yes, Oracle has invested a lot in the newest releases of Oracle EBS Suite as well as the Oracle Cloud applications. So Ravinder, tell us more about it, what all we can have and what all we can expect in the future.
Right. So I hope the demo did give everybody a look and feel of how ECC is transforming the landscape of transactional analytics. So it's like, since Oracle database is a translytics database, so you don't really need to have a separate analytics installation from away from your ERP install or an instance. And so you can all have it in a combined thing. All you need is upgrade of EBS. I hope that's what everybody will have one of the key takeaways from the demo. Now, so as Rahul, as you really rightly mentioned, that Oracle is the three-pronged strategy that we have followed. Right at the bottom, as you see, as everybody has to see about how you move and improve your current EBS installation, the EBS that that you own, that you have really worked on in the last number of years. You've customized it, you've integrated it, you continue to have that installation, move that to Oracle Cloud. And once you do that movement, once you migrate that, lock, stock and barrel via the lift and shift mode, you also get a lot of accelerators which come for free. Something like an EBS Cloud Manager, which comes as a pre-packaged solution, where your EBAs and your application and system administrators have a console, and creating a backup, taking a clone of an instance and all that, which was like a few hours job, almost becomes like right click and your preset topology of if it is there, you really have an advanced provisioning function. So where in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes a new instance comes up. So that's like a way way forward for that we're going to see in our in inculcating operational efficiencies in our day-to-day operations for IT folks. And not only that, so the whole complete life cycle management of your EBS instance becomes a cakewalk with this move and improve EBS strategy that we have come up with. And then the next prong is around the functional innovation that we've been talking about, various functionality oriented innovations that that have come up, and the modern day UI, UX, and the mobility solutions that we have offered for our customers. Most of them come for free for the licensed users of base products. And the last and the third point, which is a seamless integration with our cloud apps. So one of them was something I was already talking about on the AI apps front, on the adaptive intelligence fronts. Similarly is the case on all the practical, all the other cloud apps. So Oracle has given a practical pathway to move all of them and seamlessly integrate with their current EBS instance onto the next set of cloud cloud offerings that Oracle has to provide. So that's like a combined strategy for all our customers to to really exploit their EBS install base to the maximum extent. I think that's where our investments in the last 3 to 4 years have been directed at.
Yes, Ravindra, true. Actually, we have all the strengths, all the leverages that we can use with a different suite of applications with the different products that Oracle provides.
Right.
So moving forward, Varun, could you please take on the question and answer session?
Sure. So thank you so much, Ravindra and Rahul, for such an informative session. We'll go ahead and take some questions now. Just a reminder to everyone, please be sure to type your questions in the question box in your control panel. We already have a lot of questions coming in from the attendees, so I'll take as many as questions we can. And so the very first question that we have got is from Ingwen. He's asking, will Oracle develop the Oracle EBS after 2031 or stop develop?
Okay, so I think I'll take that question. So Oracle is very clear. We have a 10-year rolling roadmap for all that we commit on to. And with that, if you would have noticed, last year our roadmap was until 2030. This year our roadmap is now until 2031, and I'm sure next year it will go on to 2032. So it's a 10-year rolling roadmap that we follow. So it's not like that that 2031 is the date, and we really have to provide some date, and hence we have provided a 10-year rolling roadmap. So it's like a perpetual thing that we are going to our development folks are going to take forward every year, and this is going to be a rolling roadmap.
Or thanks, Ravindra. I hope, Ingwen, that answers your question. So we have another we have another set of questions, I would say, coming in from Avula from Global Foundries. So I'll take that one by one. So he's asking, is the customization can be done without programming applied to that specific user or overall application?
Let me take that question. Actually, say if you're talking about ECC, the customization that you can do is you can go on and edit down from high level to transaction level details. You can change the different type of charts that actually suits you. Like we presented an example where in the non-conformance, actually, if you look at the slide, there was an example slide where you have the bubble charts, which actually presents the 3-dimensional data into 2 dimensions. So at that level, you can customize as per your requirements. You can see that at what level you want to know about more. You want to know more about the transactions, where you want to see the problems that are there, and then can act upon it. So in that way, you can definitely customize the dashboard, and you do not need any programming for it. That is the specialty of it. You do not need any programming of it. You have all the data that is coming in from the EBS forms, and then customize as per your needs.
Sure.
So
Thanks,
customizing the look and feel, the visualizations in ECC is almost like creating a pivot table in an Excel. So if somebody can do an Excel, creating a chart in an Excel, that's really the way one creates even in ECC. So you just have to right click and select the table attributes and then go ahead and pull them, and those get automatically pushed into your dashboard. So it's as easy as that.
Sure. Thank you, Rahul and Ravindra, for the answers. I hope, Abdullah, that answers your question. The second part of the question is that what type of issue transactions referring here on-hand visibility? Is the miscellaneous issue or any other transaction?
No, on-hand visibility is about, see, when you are actually issuing the material to the jobs. Earlier you didn't have the option to see in which different sub-inventories you have the material available. So with the new features, you can see like from this sub-inventory I want to transfer the material to the job. So in that way, this is actually helpful. Otherwise, what you do is you close the form, you go to the inventory, and you check that yes, in this sub-inventory I have this much material, and then transact that material to the selected job. So, but now when you're transacting it, you have the options to see the actual quantity in the different sub-inventories. So this is the feature that is helping different users to cut down the time to go or to reduce the number of clicks that are to be used for the different kind of jobs.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks for the answer. So we have another question coming in from Stanley. He's asking what are the main UI changes in R 12.2? And there is another part of the question, which is that in the new HTML UI, what is the backend tool to use for customization, OAF, ADF, etc.?
Okay, so let me take this up. So the HTML UI that you see in 12.2 is basically coming out, and they are hosted on the WebLogic as the application server, which is actually hosting these HTML pages. So and the tool that you are going to use going forward to make changes to them, to customize them, is definitely the OA framework that we provide. Just like you make changes to a web page, load that either to a JDeveloper or any of your any of those Java solutions, IDE. You load them, you make changes, and then you go ahead and compile them.
Thanks, Ravinder, for that answer. I hope that answers your question, Stanley. So we have a few more questions, but considering the time, I think we can take that one-on-one separately post this session. Rahul, can you change to the next slide? So as I mentioned in the beginning that, post this webinar, there will be a raffle draw, and all the attendees today will be included in the draw. And the winners will get a service where we will configure ECC for one of the functional areas of your choice at no cost. And I'll connect with the raffle winners separately with other details post the session. If you can we move on to the next slide? So if you have any further questions for us, kindly do email us, and we will reply to you. My email address is varun.rawat@pathinfotech.com. With that, we end this webinar here. And thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time out and joining us. We appreciate you being here. We will share the recording of this webinar with all of you very soon. And once again, thank you for joining us. And a special thanks to our speakers today, Rahul and Ravindra.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling us, and thanks for organizing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye.